Hi, everybody. This is another episode of We Are M&R, and this is Thomas Trimmingham, the Marketing Communications Manager for M&R Companies. And today we are talking with Andy Rudman of ShirtCon. Andy, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your company?
I'm Andy Rudman, and I founded ShirtCon 11 years ago in St. Louis, Missouri. We do screen printing and embroidery here.
Cool. Now, I've known Andy for a little while. We actually met, I think personally, the first time was at Long Beach, I believe. So I've known of you for a while. And, I think it's important to just really quickly talk about what you've kind of gone through in the past couple months, because obviously it's a pretty unprecedented time, and I think it's helpful for people to kind of get a feel for how it's affecting people in different parts of the country.
Yeah, for us, it's probably a lot like other shops. We half our orders canceled that day, and I think we probably had about a week's worth of work after that until we had to make some hard decisions. I remember going home that Friday after we ran out of stuff to print, and spent the weekend trying to come up with a plan, and then eventually on Sunday, just we had to lay off half our team, and it still seems unreal, really, that we had to do that.
Yeah, yeah. So many companies now are, they've either furloughed employees where they're, waiting essentially for stuff to reboot or reopen, or they've, had to downsize. And so that's a definite challenge. And then, um, what are you seeing and dealing with at this point? Like, what have you done as far as a company have pivoted or anything like that?
Um, well, now I don't know, it feels like we're coming out of this here in Missouri anyway. It feels, I've seen our orders build over the past 2 weeks, I guess. And For Missouri anyway, our stay-at-home order is set to expire this Sunday, May 3rd, and up until now, we've been allowed to have a max gathering of 10, and so that's what we've been doing. We've had a small team here every day printing and or if not printing, finding other stuff to do. We had a list, of uh, of stuff we wanted to do, like as far as shop improvements, and we've gone through most of that, and but now we're really seeing an uptick really in orders. And I don't know, we've got a lot of hope. It's encouraging.
Hmm. Well, yeah, that's exciting, and I think a lot of people are hoping for that to see the. I know that the tail end of this year, um, it's just really people are wondering what's going to happen, with so many of the different industry niches and stuff. And are you seeing a specific uptick in a certain segment of business, or is it just like across the board with some of your customers?
Mm, I would say it's diverse. There's a couple of brands we print for, and they're online brands, and um, they have, I guess, because they're not retail location, they've got orders, and so we see that coming in. Um, we have some custom orders coming through too. Some for some schools, and also it's pretty cool. We've had a few local businesses reach out that have been our customers in the past, and they said, "Hey, we see you guys are going through something kind of like us, and we can use some shirts right now." And so they've been placing some orders early, and I don't know. That's How cool is that?
Yeah, very cool. And that's part of the stuff that's I like sharing because it's hopeful. I mean, seeing small businesses help each other, and that's one of the reasons that we're doing this. This vlog is reaching out to companies like yourself that have been, great representatives of M&R equipment, or just using our equipment in real exciting ways, and getting out to the industry and showing people what you can do with it. And it's any chance we can to kind of showcase what you and other companies are doing. As far as the future moving forward, like, do you have any insights as far as the industry itself, what your thoughts are, like on where things might be going? Um,
Yeah,
you've been doing more with merch stores, right? Like that might be one example.
Yeah, so we, like a lot of other shops, we did the support store, that movement of the support stores where we built a store and had 74, our store anyway, had 74 businesses in it, and
Mm,
portion of the proceeds goes to the business. And so um, our store closes tomorrow. That store closes tomorrow for us, and we'll then print and ship everything next week. But and I think that makes sense because in Missouri anyway, the businesses are able to open up again starting Monday, and so. But so after that, it's weird. We said earlier is that it's almost day to day. For I don't know if we're 5 or 6 weeks into this, but every Friday when we make it through another week, I just celebrate the fact that we did that. Here we are, we
yeah.
made it through another week, and wow, okay, so what next? And these days, though, it feels like it doesn't quite feel like that. It's like, hey, we're almost through this, and so I looked at what are we going to do in May. For us, we applied for PPP a few weeks back. The very first day you could do it, and but we didn't hear anything, and we waited pretty impatiently, probably.
Yeah.
I was literally checking my emails every hour to see. I didn't know how they were going to contact me when they said, "Hey, you got it," or "You didn't get it," and so I kept checking emails, and then one day I got a phone call that I usually don't answer if it's from a area code that's I don't recognize, but I answered it, and glad I did because it was the bank, and they said, you got it. And so
Mm,
um, it funded on Friday, and that gives us a lot of options. And so um, with us being able to bring people back, or actually have a larger crew than 10, then I think that's what we're going to do next week, and I'm going to bring a few back for sure.
oh, that's exciting. That's great to hear that.
Mm.
And then in regards to other ideas for printers, maybe some tips or how to navigate some of this stuff. You have some thoughts in regards to that?
Um, hmm. You know, we were talking about masks earlier. That's
Hmm.
that's certainly an
Yeah.
option. I see that as being a huge market. We've already printed a ton of them. I just got a different sample dropped off yesterday that I like a lot. That's two ply.
Mm,
The first round we were printing were these single ply masks, and whereas they work, they're more they're more disposable, I think. And so we have this new batch in that looks really nice, and so I've got a few samples out to some customers, and we'll see how that goes. So I mean, masks, that's a big market, excited about it.
and is Missouri, when you say they're going to reopen, does that mean reopen with social distancing and then mask requirements for businesses? How's that working in Missouri?
Right. Yeah. I don't think masks requirements for businesses. I think groceries, or like for non-essential, I should say, but I think for like grocery stores, other places like that, yeah, you're asked to wear a mask. I don't know if it's required, so I don't know the specifics of it.
Yeah, and I think that it goes hand and parcel with that kind of a interesting conversation that I had previously with a developer of masks, and we were talking about how the visibility of having masks that all match for a company
Mm,
creates creates a visibility that the company is like taking that step seriously versus it almost gives the impression if every employee that's public facing in a group, say you have a group of people that are, 5 people
right.
at a, restaurant, and they're all wearing different masks, it makes it look like you just let them get their masks on their own versus the
Mm.
company providing them, which is it's a perception issue kind of. But I could see where the demand for uniform masks would be fairly large, at least initially. I don't know what it'll look like in the late summer or not, but definitely I can see that being there. So yeah, that is interesting. Are you guys pretty much use hold downs, or you use using like pocket pallets, that sort of thing, or how do you guys do it?
The masks we've printed up until this point have just been flat, and so we just have been putting them on our standard pallet. No
Oh,
hold
okay.
down or anything. We don't use adhesive. It's just a really small print offset
Mm.
to the side, so it's that helps for a couple reasons. I think it doesn't, you don't have to worry about centering it as much, and also it's not covering your mouth or anything like that. So it's just a small design, one color, and then offset.
Yeah, it seems like a good way to do it. Yeah. Um, and then as far as like other tips, like working with staff at this point, did you call
Mm.
everybody every day that was off, that sort of thing, or do you have any tips as far as working with your staff through this kind of challenge? I would imagine it's pretty stressful for everybody that works for you too.
Um, well, the team that was left after we had to lay off half the others. Well, that team we had a group chat set up, a group text set up, and so we
Mm.
communicated daily. With the others, I've had some communication, yes, as like how things are going,
Mm.
and I just talked to somebody yesterday about coming back next week.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean it's they were pretty excited to hear from me. I think surprised too, honestly.
Yeah, well, that's a good surprise. So that's a good
Mm.
thing. And then thoughts in the industry in general, and as far as like seeing things come back or hanging in there or that sort of thing. What are your thoughts in regards to the industry in general?
I think that I hope anyway that our half of our business at least is school based, and so um, we plan on making it through the summer with our normal custom work, and then the hope is anyway that come July that the schools come back, and so I see that happening in this state, the whole country really, and so we're holding on hope for that. Schools come back, then that would really save our year. That's some of our busiest time from July, August, September, October. We're in overtime then, and so we'll see. If they
Right.
don't, then I guess maybe you got any ideas?
Well, I was going to say that I think I haven't heard anything specifically, but I have talked to a lot of printers recently,
Mm,
and many of them are, have the schools as a printer base, and
right.
I have to wonder at some point if it would make sense to, if they are going to, and again, this is all speculation on my part, but if they are going to keep kids at home, when school, kind of looks like to restart, in August or
Mm,
whenever, it's like there has to be some sort of thought as far as developing some kind of unity, and it might make a lot of sense to actually really push, school apparel for kids
mm,
to actually, whether they have to wear it for video chats or Zoom meetings or different things. So having a line into the schools as they reboot it, it might make sense to have some sort of incentive to have the teachers try to wear stuff other than their pajamas, and actually
right.
make a push from our industry end. Hey, let's all look professional even if we're on video, and we can help you out with that kind of thing, and I don't know that anybody's really spearheaded that at this point, but I have definitely heard recommendations as far as corporations doing that, saying, hey, try to have something that has the corporate logo on it when you're on a video conference, try to look professional, try to be, because it does help. We've
Mhm.
noticed it with our own meetings that we've done a lot of, that there is a benefit to having a uniform look. So I don't know to what degree or how that can be marketed to the school, but I would think it could be, right? I mean, at least as a thought, right?
Yeah, so a few of our orders we're doing now, it's really interesting. They actually are for schools, even though they're closed. They went ahead and got shirts like graduation shirts. Some of the faculty and staff got some shirts that they're going to wear when I think there's going to be one day where the kids come by and pick up stuff from their lockers, and I don't know if they're going to be in the school or if they're just going to drive through and they're going to hand them the bags or whatever it's going to be. And so they actually ordered shirts for that. I got a PO yesterday from a school for they want delivery in June, and it's for their HR for the whole district. And
Hmm.
it looks like they're planning on coming back. It's an order that they got last year too, And they
Hmm.
said, yeah, this is the same order, just a few different sizes, I guess, but here's our order for June, and they placed the PO. So, that's let's just hope that happens.
Yeah, and at the risk of being too optimistic, I do look at one side of this, which is, you try to find some sort of silver lining to this thing, and anytime you have pressure and kind of constraints, and there is a proportional opportunity that's created in general from that. So if you got pressure on an industry when that pressure abates, there should be a strong opportunity at that moment because I would think, everybody's going to want stuff. Everybody's going to want to get outside. They're going to want to do things. They're going to want to, hopefully within respect to obviously being safe is the big caveat to that. But
Yeah,
um,
100%. And I
yeah,
guess that's what we're planning for, is that we don't want to get caught off guard, And so if it does come back like you just described, then we want to be ready. And so, we've done things like send out screens for restretch. We're moving our ink department to a better spot that makes more sense. Um, Things like that, just prepping so that when it does come back, that we can focus on that instead of being caught off guard.
yeah, and I definitely think that's a good way to be. Now, how can people reach out to you? I would imagine that a lot of printers wouldn't mind chatting with you, and how do you prefer people reach out to you if they want to learn more about you or ShirtCong or want to be a partner with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so my email is andy@shirtkong.com. You can call our shop and our phone number is 636-926-7777. Stop by if you're around. And I know if you don't have to, we have
With a
curbside
mask on,
pickup with a mask on. Perfect. Thank you.
right? All right, fair enough. Well, you've been a fantastic development partner with M&R, and I just really look forward to continuing to work with you, Andy. And at some day with a mask on, I'm gonna come to see you down there at St. Louis. So thanks a lot for your time today. I really
All right,
appreciate it.
Tom. Thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for all you guys do for us. We love you guys. Take care.